What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to our Sekiro playthrough, episode number 2. Right now, we have to take, well, we don't have to, but we're going to take a little shortcut, detour, whatever you want to call it, mess with this Buddha that we were told not to touch at all by this man who's not watching us, so we're going to touch it.
Close your eyes. Hear the bell speak to you. The bell's chime will stir your thoughts and awaken old memories from their slumber.
Spooky. Three years ago. So Buddha takes you to the past. And we need to find out where we are. Now, usually, other than my first playthrough, I do this near the end. The Harada Estate. I didn't think that text would come up this early. But seems as if all the things everyone was telling us and all the remnant we heard about Kuro talking about the Harada Estate, we're about to find out exactly what went down. You do actually die from that fall. There actually isn't very good fall damage in the game. I guess there is very good fall damage in the game because you don't inherently just straight up die a lot of the time. Is there actually nothing back here? What's the point of that? I don't know. Is there a way up that I didn't see? Maybe. But we're already running this way. Or Ash.
You're the son of Owl.
What happened?
Thieves at Hirata Estate. You must hurry. The divine error.
What year is it?
What year? An odd question.
Tell me.
It's the year of the Dragon Spring Pilgrimage.
The Dragon Spring Pilgrimage? That was 3 years ago. What is this? The sculptor mentioned an old memory. I don't remember any of this. But it appears this is the past.
Now, lore-wise, I am unsure. I assume he just, amnesia type things. Also, yes, you can swim in this game, which I am doing because you see there's a fish, and these fish are very important. Treasure carp scales, a sparkling scale from a treasure carp. To the average person, it is just a beautiful scale, but there are some who exalt a certain master who consider these scales among the most precious things in the world. For this reason, collecting them would be worthwhile. Could be worthwhile. Is worthwhile. It really is. You do get quite a bit of good things from a lot of people. And by a lot, I mean two. But we'll meet them later. We'll meet one right now, but we'll meet the other one later. But yeah, I am unsure if he forgot or wasn't here at all and is learning about the events by going back in time with the Buddha and the bell. I don't exactly know. I haven't seen very many lore videos pop up. I did see, I forget his name. I know he's a big Souls guy, but I don't personally follow him. I'm more or less waiting for Vadi to make a video on it because I don't know, body's just got a beautiful voice, make me so happy to listen to him speak. But someone was doing a lore run through, and I did pop in the stream for a little bit, but then continued playing the game myself.
Know about carp scales? The sparkling, shining scales of the treasure carp.
I can't help but laugh when this guy talks.
And I'll reward you handsomely.
He sounds like James from the Pokemon anime. It just makes me happy. So, as you see, we got some options here. We haven't seen these in the shops before. Divine Grass basically heals you. It's full heal. That's all it is. You can only have, as you see, limit 1. That's like on your person. Number held, 0 out of 1. And storage, 0, because we don't have any stored up. The Withered Red Gourd is actually kind of helpful, I think. I have it on my like 80-hour plus character that's on New Game Plus 5, but I've used it because I think it helps, but I really don't notice it. So there's that. Then we got Mass Fragment Right. There are 3 mask fragments in the game, and when you get them all, you collect a secret mask, which you can use to get attack power. I'm telling you this because we won't be getting it, so I'm not gonna spoil, or I'm not afraid about spoiling anything because it's just an item. It's a very useful hidden item in the game, and it's useful, I say, for later in the game. We might get it, but I doubt we will. I'd want to get it, but I don't think we will. I'm not really worried about it. And the Floating Passage text. This is just a one-off skill that you can buy instead of getting in the skill tree. It's not in the skill tree at all, really, but you can buy it, and then you have it. So, it's cool, but I don't think it's that great of a combat art, as it says it's a combat art, Floating Passage. I think we'll be buying something from him because I think we have to do a quest line. So, we'll probably buy whichever one of these 2 we need to. I think you have to spend a certain amount of scales. I think it's 6. So we'll either get the text in the grass or the gourd or just a fragment and call it a day. But either way, we'll be coming back here eventually. I know we will need to. This guy is funny as voice. And if you saw earlier, we were able to lock on to a thing over here, but we couldn't go get it because it was under the surface, and we'll have to remember that for later. Don't talk to me. Let's go check out this item over here. Also, shurikens one-shot dogs as well. As you can see, they're just a great enemy. They're so well done. I don't hate them in this game. They also have a pretty brutal death blow if you can land it on them. I don't know if we can. I know we can't jump up there. I don't know if we can jump up on this side. It does not look like it. So we'll just use this. I need skill points. We'll go kill this guy. There's also an item I missed. Hi, bud. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's special, so it didn't let me death blow. It just did a running attack. Dowsing powder. I didn't read it, but dowsing powder prevents your burn buildup, and also gets rid of the burn status effect. Don't kick me with it. Hello. So that was a thrust attack, as you see. I deflected it. I didn't know I could actually death blow him like that. That wasn't the death blow I was talking about. Oil functions the same way it does in Sekiro. It just makes getting the burn status effect on enemies easier, and we're getting destroyed by this guy. I don't like it. Really quickly, before we sit down, let's go over here. Hi, boys. This is why you love me. See, I'm not very good at combat without locking on. I'm scared. Arrow guys are very annoying. Hello. Come over here. Or not. Oh boy. This is not good. I really messed this one up, didn't I? Okay. That's all I wanted, man. I just wanted the skill point. Now we'll sit down here. Excuse me. And you can actually sit and rest at idols when enemies are pretty close to you in this game. Feels like closer than before. So we're gonna go to their skills, and we're actually gonna get our first skill of the game, Mikiri Counter. This lets you counter thrust attacks better. Better than deflecting. You do more posture damage, which posture is just the best way to damage enemies really in the game. Some enemies it's really hard because posture refills quickly if the enemy is at high health. Some enemies are designed so that their posture doesn't really drop quickly even at high health. So you can just, oh boy. Shoot the bow. Just trying to zigzag and you weren't firing it. Oh, we're gonna get rid of the bow guys first. Ranged enemies are easy to kill, super annoying when they're alive. Oh, we should have anything over here? Yeah, Spirit Emblem. Can you give it? Give it. I didn't want to drop down. Spirit Emblems are something that I took for granted my first playthrough. I actually ended up running out by the end of the game. But throughout the entire game, I had so many. So I am going to attempt to be more adamant about getting Spirit Emblems and possibly even buying them. So I know what items I want to buy now. I don't have to worry about anything. Please don't. How's that? Yeah, boy. It didn't kill me because I had a resurrection. The first time I played, he did make me die, and then I rezzed. So I like to just make him feel bad for his life every chance I get. Now, some items that we picked up that I hadn't mentioned are the sugars. We got a blue sugar, I don't know what it is, and then we got Akko's sugar, the red one. The blue one, I believe, is for vitality? Temporarily reduces vitality damage, yes. So there are 5 sugars. Oh, we also got a Gachin. We got 3. I didn't notice that. Gachin sugars stealth you like Hidden Body from Dark Souls and Blue Elixirs from Bloodborne. Akko sugar gives you attack power. The blue Ungo sugar gives you vitality damage decrease. There is a yellow one that gives you posture damage increase, or not damage, posture like for you. Posture protection for you. Defense, posture defense for you, whatever you want to call it. Reduces posture damage taken from physical attacks is what it would say instead of vitality on this one. And then there is a second red one that it just looks different. It's named different, and basically it's your red tier stone of the game. It cuts your health in half, or maybe into a fourth. I'm not actually sure. I use it like twice in the playthrough, just because it's dangerous. But it gives you a higher attack increase than this, and I think it does something else. Maybe you do more posture damage as well. But I just remember it saying more things. We might need to rest, because I don't want to die. I could just run through here and get everything. Hey, bud. grab that. Oh no, we fell. Oh no! I was hoping we wouldn't fall. Okay, now we hit our head. Excuse me. So as you see, we actually got a special sound effect when we got hit by that, and it wasn't because we were dying. It was because of a neat little mechanic that I hate sometimes, called taking more damage when it's in the air. Now, it applies to enemies too, but when it happens to you, it really hurts. When in doubt, play the charged R1. Alright. Sometimes I think those candles are items. Hi, bud. This guy is just too I think this guy is 2. Where's the dog? There's the dog. Sometimes I spam L1 when I don't know what they're gonna do. Oh boy. Let's see if we can actually bait out the Makiri counter. Posture. There we go. That's Makiri counter. It's really cool to do. All you have to do is hit B in no direction. It took me a long time to actually get down because I always wanted to hit a direction. But eventually I got in the hang of just letting go of the stick immediately when I see it and hitting B. We got the flame barrel, which I skipped over the text for now for a second.
Those worthless bastards.
Hello.
You are Shinobi, if I'm not mistaken. Take the Shinobi axe from the temple and split their skulls wide open. Please.
Okay, I'll do that. If you don't mind. So many roosters, so little time. Now these actually, I don't know about this area, but in most areas they serve as an alarm system. It's actually what they're there for. And I always hold square after every enemy, but animal enemies don't drop things, so I'm pretty sure. Please don't kill me. You can actually take quite a bit of damage from them if you're not careful. I think there's 5, so I killed them all, right? Looks like it. Another coin purse. Right now I should go heal. I'm just gonna pop a pellet though and come over here. Grab the ledge. I know you can do it. Thank you.
We burning this temple next, boss? No. Leave it. Go on to the next one. But if there's any offerings, we could give them to Lord Juzo. Enough! We don't take from Buddha. How many times do I have to tell you before it sinks into your thick skull? Please, don't get angry at me, boss. I'm sorry I scored so thick.
That's a fun one. Pretty much this eavesdrop is here to let you know that this is a temple, and the guy just wants to take the egg from the temple. So, guess what's inside? The Shinobi Axe of the Monkey. A heavy black iron axe used by the shinobi can be fitted to the shinobi prosthetic tool to become a working prosthetic tool. I read tool too early. This boorish axe is used less for cutting and more for breaking things with its weight. Once the favored weapon of a shinobi known as the Bounding Monkey of the Sunken Valley, it was lost along with his left arm. Things that make you go, Hello. I was hoping. Still did. I was hoping I'd get it on without locking on because I'd be fast enough. But I was too slow to get it and still got it because he's oblivious. That area over there is where we got the flame barrel, which reminds me to read it. Over here. Flame barrel. An iron barrel that spews fire can be fitted to the shinobi prosthetic to become a prosthetic tool. Usually the first line of the descriptions are the same, so I'll be skipping them as we go on when I read, just because they basically the same thing about each tier of item, I guess. So like the first paragraph of the candies is always a candy, blah 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 blah, and then it tells you what it does, and then and lore. So we'll be skipping those for the most part now when we start reading more of these and getting more. It is difficult to control the rage-filled red eyes with the power of man alone. However, fire-based weapon could be a means of resisting them. They are said to fear fire above all else. Red-eyed enemies fear fire. Very important knowledge to have. Now with that, let's take... Oops, excuse me. Goken sugar. This is the yellow one I was talking about. Let's see what it actually says. Reduces posture damage taken. So that's what it says. Same thing, but for posture. Now, if you do have full posture, like maxed out, your posture actually won't break unless you guard an attack. If you deflect, you can deflect infinitely. Deflecting increases your posture, but will not break your posture. So if you get really good at the combat and deflecting, you can eventually just go for it every time and not have to worry about your posture breaking. Excuse me, I'm trying to not aggro y'all. How many skill points do we have? 1, and stacking. Actually, let us... Excuse me. Stupid tree branch turns invisible. I can't see it. Don't come over here. That rock doesn't let me sit at the idle either. Acquire skills. What do we want next? I know we want this, and we definitely want this. Which we have to get this and this for. But I think we just want to wait to get this as soon as possible. But while we debate that, let's go back to the temple and get those tools fixed onto our arm. Because we don't need one of them, but I would like to show off one of them for what it's very useful for in the next fight that we're going to be taking. So these two tools and a third one are ones that I change. And then the combat guy also will help you practice using new combat skills you get, which is what that little notification was about.
So,
Was that what?
Oh, this is new dialogue.
Was it
I didn't
real?
think it was.
whether it was a dream or it was reality, I have no idea. There is one thing I can tell you. The great Buddha has seen fit to awaken old memories within you. What you felt, what you remembered, that is what it all depends upon.
I'm not sure if what I saw is what truly happened.
That's how it works.
So we get the loaded axe and the flame vent.
The shinobi prosthetic. Appears you've taken to it quite well. Here, this is for you.
A prosthetic esoteric text. So with this one, we get skill points that are directly correlated to our prosthetic arm and makes the tools do different things, makes us do different tool attacks, stuff like that. Some really useful stuff in here that I'll be trying to go through. I actually want the very end one because I love it. I think it's the best ending skill, ultimate skill of all the trees. Not as flashy, but definitely I think the most useful one, or at least second most useful. I'm trying to think of what one of them is that I don't really know. I know 3 of the 4. The 5th tree is actually just a super duper tree that takes all of the ultimate skills and combines them together. We won't be getting anything from that because I think it's a waste of skill points, honestly. But anyway, a book of secrets that, learn prosthetic skills. Like I said, first paragraph is the same for all of the esoteric text, really. Written by a man who abandoned the path of the shinobi but could not bring himself to discard his painstaking research. There's no L in there. You never expected to pass these on to anyone else.
What is it?
It contains ways to bite into your foes with that fang of yours. In other words, fighting techniques for your prosthetic arm.
I see.
I had thought that prosthetic techniques wouldn't ever be needed again, but it seems I was wrong. If you want more forms for that fang of yours, you'll need to search for more shinobi tools. There's no turning back from this path now. The least I can do is load your arm.
So it tells us that now. I don't know why we had to. I guess it really expects you to get one, being the shuriken, and then go to the Harada estate and get those 2, and then you'll put both of them on at the same time. But we bought firecrackers, so we already had more than one. So let's take a look at it real quick. So we got the chasing slice, which I didn't think was as good as it is. So we'll be getting that, and the grappling hook attack, really good. So now knowing that we have some more skills that we want, I'm actually going to make sure I get this before a certain point because it is just super, super useful. And I think that's all we had, right? I actually need to use this. I don't need to go back to the Buddha statue. We can just travel to the Harada estate. I want to go here. And then I also need to put on the loaded axe because that's what I want to show off. So between the flame vent and the loaded axe, basically my prosthetic tool usually sets out to be shuriken because it's useful in a lot of situations, firecrackers because it's useful in almost every situation, and I switch between loaded axe, flame vent, and another one that I won't spoil yet, but we will be getting very soon. I say very soon, it's actually in a while, but it's in the next area. It just takes that long to get there. If you're going through slowly. And we're going through at a decent speed because I know what I'm doing, but it'll be a while for a first playthrough if you're fully exploring everything. Which I'm kind of doing, just at a very fast pace. Now, if you see this guy... Oh my goodness, he looks so ugly, but he looks familiar. I didn't actually look at his face. He is very ugly.
Hey, good sir. Are you a looter too? Good sir, you look like a shinobi, I think. Are you looking for something? Well, in any case, I found this place first. So, keep your eyes peeled out there, huh? And, don't let the door hit you on the... Oh, by the way, while I was on my way here, I saw a 3-story pagoda on top of some cliff. It was a fine pagoda. Really fine. I bet there's some kind of treasure kept in there. Gotta be. That's what I think, at least.
Mm-hmm. So, if he sounds familiar, looks familiar, he's probably familiar. He's the guy that we... talked to that said he remembered us and he's sworn off his ways of becoming a merchant. And, this is what he was talking about. He was also an NPC talking about seeing us in the past. This is where we met him. So I guess, yeah, that kind of does confirm that we were here. So this isn't just us living through an event that we weren't at through the Buddha. It's us actually getting our memory back, which... I guess I never really paid attention to that fact that they actually talked about noticing us.
Hey, open up! Open up or else I can hear you whispering in there. If you don't surrender peaceably now, you're gonna regret it later. Hey, can you hear me? Hey!
And I know that in the very beginning of the game, Kuro asked if we were still injured from this event. And Hero Charm says that we gain the power of resurrection at the Hirata estate. We'll be learning all about all that stuff later. But I'm stupid. I didn't put two and two together that it obviously isn't something that we're out of body experiencing.
I forbid it. You are in no condition.
Stupid window.
You're the young master's shinobi.
Yes.
What good are you? You were nowhere to be seen when things went south. Wait, tell me you didn't lead them here yourself. The timing of their attack was perfect. Normally those bandits wouldn't have stood a chance. Yes, it had to be you. I hope you die, traitor.
Well done. That's rude.
Who are you?
I'm not a thief.
You're the young lords. Oh, thank goodness. Honorable shinobi, those filthy bandits are after the young lord. They've already climbed the hill and set the estate on fire. It looked as if the young lord had no way to escape. I beg of you, shinobi, please rescue the young lord. I entrust this to you. I pray it is of help.
Thank you.
Alright. Grab the ledge. Or actually jump over this time, whatever works for you. So this is where you really get to show off the action first time. Shield enemies are no more. I am dumb. My first playthrough, I never used the axe to kill them. This is how I killed them. And it took a while to actually get decent at exploiting that. It took way longer than I've cared to admit. It's very sad. But with the axe, you break the shield, instant death blow. Very useful. Now for this, you get another mini boss. He hasn't aggro yet. Is he gonna aggro at all? Please stop shooting. Please stop shooting. Another mini boss tells us, hey, this is a thrust boy. Excuse me. I need to get rid of this guy. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die. Hi, how you doing? Oh my goodness, he was right behind me. This is not good at all. Excuse me. Popping my heels. Oh, I switched the lock on no. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Okay. So we're doing this heal-less. Grab the item window. Thank you. We're doing this heal-less. Well, we have pellets, which I guess I'll pop one now. So I'm gonna put the firecrackers on just in case. This is really why they give me counter. Sometimes Mikiri counter is in and out. You have to deflect the ghost attacks like that. Just because I simply didn't have time to Mikiri counter. I got greedy there. I'm glad that we traded and I didn't just get hit. But 2 prayer beads now. So this mini boss is optional and mandatory at the same time. He's mandatory to actually get through the area, but he's optional in the case that he can actually jump off this bridge over here into the water. Since we can swim, and you can swim up to a grapple point and get to the end of the game. Or not the end of the game, sorry. That's a horrible way of putting it. End of the area, but there's a locked door. I guess it's not really a spoiler that the end of the area has a boss. Is kind of how games work. There's a locked door in front of the boss that you need to go this way in order to get the key, and there's no other way to get this get through this direction except by fighting him. So let's get this, since it's only one skill point for the grappling hook attack, and we have plenty of time before we need it. We're gonna stall it as much as we can, and we're gonna go a stealthy route. Hi, bud. Could have taken the death blow, but I'll take it now. I could have taken the stealth death blow, but I honestly thought they would aggro me. The dude was literally sitting looking at me. There's one guy here. Oh, he's up here. Oh, I kind of blew that. Alright. We're actually gonna go in the water here real quick. Is there? There is. I knew there was a treasure card, I just didn't know. Alright, I'm gonna go up here. I did rest, so I do have heals, which is good. I never actually attempted to fight this next enemy because I found out he's completely optional. But we are going to attempt to fight him now that I actually know his attack patterns decently well. As you can see, he's trying to left me right now, but I'm gonna grab this first. We'll read that in a second. Oh my goodness! Please get away. He is very hard to kill. Very aggressive. Okay. My posture. That's not good. Actually takes a while to kill him as well. That's it. Okay. Got my posture broken at the very wrong time because I guarded instead of deflecting. But anyway, now we're gonna ignore him because we got what we wanted. We got the Mist Raven's feathers, which is what the bandit was telling us about, the 3-story pagoda. It's that. Took me a while to figure that one out as well. Loss upon death. Sad that it happens this early, but it's gonna happen eventually. So you lose half your skill point progress, which really is brutal when you're almost at that next skill point, and half your money, which we had a lot of. As you can see, we have 531 now, so double it, that's how much we had. It's actually rounded down as well, so you'll always have at least one skill point and money. I don't know why I'm sitting down here, I don't need to. I actually never used the Mist Raven's feathers. I hear it's really, really good for some bosses that people struggle with, but now that we've gone through here, I'm not gonna do it because I hate everyone. Excuse me. And we'll get to you in a second. Hi there, bud. I don't know his attack kind of very well. Usually I go for the stealth whenever I can. And as you can see, this is the bridge that we swim over, or under, and that's where we went up to the pagoda up behind those bamboo things. And I see that there's an item over there. How do I get there? I know it's probably completely unnecessary to go. Oh, I see how I get there. What? Okay, let's not die. Okay, I said let's not die. Excuse me. No, we're done here. What was that? Jesus. I'm gonna rest. They don't have any healing now. Hello. Shoot me. Please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Oh, you still hit me. Dang. Alright. I wanted to kill that guy to get that skill point because we were so close. We can get this so we can get towards better Mikiri counter, as a lot of people like to call it, because it's not better than Mikiri counter. It just makes Mikiri counters do more posture damage. So not necessary as well, but just so good to have because Mikiri counter is just the best. Since we killed all these guys, we're just gonna run away. Excuse me. Yeah, burning building.
It's you. I'm afraid I made a bit of a blunder. Perhaps the years have finally caught up with me. Don't bother tending to my wounds, no point. It's too late. Wolf, you must take this.
So, the hidden temple key. The key to the hidden temple in the Hirata estate, given by the owl. The secret temple is located in the very back of Hirata estate. 2. The Lord is absolute. Defend him with your life. If he is taken, bring him back at any cost. So this is the
key to the secret temple in the estate mansion. You'll find him. The divine heir. Going through the front is not an option. You'll never get past the fire.
Yes, sir. Perhaps the cliff's just outside of here.
Yes. Return to the estate entrance. Then look for a side road along the cliffs. Take the back entrance through the cemetery. That's your way in.
Understood.
Wolf, never forget the Iron Code.
Yes.
The Master is absolute. Wolf, protect your Master with your life.
So anyway, the hidden temple key is what is needed to get to the boss, which is why the spear boy is necessary, because as you see, fire makes us not be able to go back through here. This is, despite what all the NPCs say that they saw us here and everything, this is the part that kind of confuses me as to us doing this 3 years ago actually and having lost the memory, because the only way to get there is using the grappling hooks. Like, I'm sure like you could like walk around that outside area, but we don't get the option to do it. So it really just makes it seem like this is the only way possible to go. And 3 years ago we didn't have a prosthetic arm, so it's just, it's weird and I don't really know a lot about it. There are a lot of enemies bundled up here. I just eavesdropped them? I did not notice. I usually go the other way. Go around from the back. I actually got this. Knock him out of there. Thrust it. Don't hit me! I usually come around here and kill these guys. I didn't know I had to eavesdrop on them. Hey, bud. for the money. Oh, the guy that was sitting in there got aggroed and ran at us. Makes sense. So, we're actually coming up at an idle, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and end the episode off. We're getting a bit lengthy here. So, if you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. Next episode, we will be completely finishing this optional area and going back to the main story. So, if you guys are hyped for that, stick around. It's actually a really neat boss fight, as annoying as a lot of people say it is. It is a wall for a lot of people on their first playthrough, I noticed. But hopefully I'll be able to help the people through it that are still struggling on it, or got past it and didn't really know how they did it, to help them better understand what to do and how to do everything. That's why I'm here. I'm very information focused, okay? I like to help people. So we'll be getting to the boss in the next episode, and shouldn't be too much longer, but it might be a little bit lengthy of an episode, because, you know, I might still die on it. I usually do it later in the game when I'm way stronger. So we'll see. This is the first time I'm doing it since my first playthrough this early. So should be interesting. I may just eat my words and have a hard time like everyone else still does. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.